Hello, welcome to another episode of Out of Stand Nation. Guys, this is going to be a very difficult week for me.
Look,
Oh, this is gonna be a really hard week.
yeah. I mean, look, we were discussing how many songs we were listening to up for the first 4 months of the year.
Yeah,
262 songs between all three of us, like in total.
and that's just the stuff that we posted.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that we pre-filtered that I don't bother posting.
Yep, same.
Yeah, like we're probably more like triple that.
Yeah.
Like, realistically.
Like 262 known music videos that we've each watched.
Yeah,
That is a lot,
So-
dude.
we really are like super high consumers of of Korean music.
Yeah, we're 100% like the top 1%.
Yeah, and I won't even just say like K-pop because we're so branched out from just K-pop. Like we listen to the indie stuff,
K-pop,
the
J-pop,
lo-fi stuff, the hip hop
C-pop.
stuff, their rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, and the fact that we're still finding so many songs to get excited about. Again, like this week it's gonna be a hard one for me to pick a song.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
So, Nick, this first one that you discovered, actually, so it's funny because you beat me to it. I saw, I'm like, oh man, I'm definitely gonna post this, and then like, Nick had already posted it. So, all right, so, go
Yeah,
for it.
I actually caught this when I actually caught this just when I happened to stumble upon like YouTube and it was in my recommended. I was like, oh, posted 8 minutes ago. Let me just see what this is about. So, this is Yumin with her song "You and I." So, Yumin is from Hux Entertainment and is actually a singer and YouTuber.
Okay.
So this is her debut. And honestly, so she was part of 1 Million Dance Studio for a while.
Yep.
And then ended up joining Hux Entertainment in early 2020. On her YouTube channel, she does usually post vocal covers, dance covers. Also does mukbangs and like beauty videos, among other content.
I want to watch the bangs.
Yeah, same. So, but also performing or being on stage and whatever is actually in her blood.
Yep.
So, Yum Jung Yun, who is an MC, is her mother, and her maternal aunt is Yum Jung Ah, so who's an actress.
Okay.
Yep.
So definitely, performing or doing something inside of like the arts in general is definitely within her bloodline. So
Yep. And it's very apparent when you watch her in this music video.
Yeah.
She has a lot of that confidence and charisma, charm.
It looks like she's very comfortable just being in front of the camera,
Yep.
yeah,
So now this song, it feels very nostalgic, and the song itself is kind of structured to feel nostalgic deliberately, right, Nick?
yeah. So the song is generally meant to be just kind of that nostalgic, very refreshing feeling.
Yeah, you're recalling a pleasant memory, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Another thing that adds to that as well, and I only just realized this maybe last night, probably last night. It's very reminiscent of of older J-pop.
Yeah. I noticed that as well. It's very reminiscent of like the older J-pop style of, like just that not necessarily nasal, but that very forward sound.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. From the way that it's mixed and mastered, her vocal timbre, it's very similar. But again, her nasaliness is more natural. It's not the forced nasal, and even just some of the chords you hear in the song, it's like it feels kind of J-pop-ish. So I'm not sure which era though. I haven't really put much thought into like trying to figure out like which era of J-pop that it's reminding me of. Like if it's 2015 or 2010.
I want to say it's before 2008, before like early 2000s.
Yes, you just reminded me. So from that era, around 2008, there was a J-pop artist that I used to listen to. Her name is Melody.
Mm-hmm.
She also has a kind of a similar vocal timbre.
Yeah, it's wow.
Yep.
That's been a while since I've last heard Melody. Jeez.
Yeah. So, and again, that just adds to nostalgia for guys like me and Aura.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I think if the Japanese or even would actually also really enjoy this, because this also very fits the like vocal style, the how she sings is very cutesy too. Like I very much think
very cutesy, very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's also super catchy,
Yeah.
which is really nice for the song as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great use of money chords in this song, where it's right for that nostalgic feeling, but it's also right for replayability.
Right.
The song
Yeah.
loops into itself very well,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a great idea on the producer as well. One thing that's also I found unique about Yumin in general is that she also has the ability to rap.
Oh, you took it away from me. I was gonna bring that up.
I do this a lot to you, you know that.
Yeah.
Look, you guys just share like a closer brain cell than you guys.
I was
do
gonna
with
say,
me.
yeah, we share a brain cell.
Yeah, the three of us share a brain cell, but
Well,
you
of course,
two just
we each
take
only
a-
have one brain cell.
Yeah, we have one, but you two share like the majority of it. I have like a tiny
Yeah.
sliver.
So, definitely the ability to rap is also very unique, because you don't hear a lot of, especially this style.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They will opt to rap, I guess.
And for those of you who most of you probably never heard the song so far, because like it's only 95,000 views yet. But
that's a
don't
shame.
expect like a hard rap. Yeah, it is a shame. But don't expect like a hard rap, right? We're not talking about like rap that you're thinking of. Like this is a very pretty, cute like rap. Like very pretty, very cute. Like it's still very much within the brand of this song. I love it.
Yeah.
Her rapping in here was just I didn't know I wanted it.
And also, man, the modulation after the rap, man, that actually really caught me off guard. Like,
No,
I was not expecting that modulation, because the song is already naturally a little on the higher side.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But I was very happy when it happened, because I felt like it was something I wasn't expecting.
The just everything about it. I found myself very enraptured in the music video too. Like,
Right.
Normally like I focus in on the song, but then the music video, because it was just so well paired with what's going on with the song. Like by the time I got to the very end of the song of the music video, when she kind of snaps out of daydreaming, and the customer comes in,
Right.
and he licks his lips in that really gross way. I was like, I actually cringed. I'm like, oh my god, I'm pretty sure that guy's a really nice guy, but he played that character way too well. It made me
You
cringe.
played it way too well.
Yeah, I thought that guy was just so gross, with just the way he did that. And like again, I'm pretty sure he's a really nice guy, and he's just playing that character just a little too well.
I mean,
that's how much I got into the music video.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, he played that character perfectly.
yeah. I mean,
There was no other way he could have been creepy other than that.
yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with him playing it too well. I think it works. It just adds emphasis to the music video.
Yeah, and don't take that as me complaining. I'm just using that to just really illustrate just how much I actually really got into the music video. I was just from start to finish, it got me.
Yeah.
So.
For the dreamy sequence, the entire music video, which was like the dreamy sequence. They really used the pastel colors, the red and pinks, the brighter colors. They used it so well to emphasize all of that. And I want to say the reason why it really draws you in is that they do so well in focusing on Yumin.
Yep.
It doesn't, because of her presence in the music video and her natural ability to just draw you in. Could be from her experience on YouTube, because you know, as a YouTuber, you really need to be able to draw your audience in. Or mukbang.
Or even just growing up around her, you know, with her mom and her aunt.
Exactly.
Their influence. Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like she utilizes all those skills and abilities so well that it just draws you in. And, you know, that's honestly not something everyone can do. So
definitely.
So she utilizes those skills that she gained and just continually put it into this music video.
Yeah, the use of the soft filters, the lighting, that soft halo-y vignette around the edge of the screen for the daydreaming sequence. It all really does kind of like really help sell the scene with her in it. On top of her talents, you know, her that she has all this talent right there. So very well done. So, what else you got, Aura?
I mean, I already said most of for the scenery that I was kind of noticed is that like it's a very I wouldn't say it's a complicated thing, to be honest. It's very simple. But I think simplicity just works a lot better for this. Because if you overcomplicated it wouldn't work at all. Because
we haven't said it in a while. This is one of those less is more type of things.
Yeah. Because if they made the music video more complicated, it would have taken away from the song. Because the song didn't feel very complicated either, you know. It just it was an easy listen. Like it was catchy, like and you know, you could just kind of chill on your bed and just listen to it. Neither the song or the music video conflicted, you know.
Yeah. You know, that ending part, I know we just talked about the one customer who was, you know, kind of gross. It was a bit of a emotional roller coaster for me at that part, because like, you know, when we saw the guy that she was daydreaming about like leave with his girlfriend, I'm like, I felt heartbroken for her. I'm like, wow, like this song, this music video like got me good.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, you know, like like
it was very pleasant. I was so happy. So that I was so happy that we discovered this. So. Oh, you guys ready to move it on?
Yeah, let's go.
Do it.
This next one, we've talked about before on their with their debut. And
well, yes and no. That episode only got released on our Patreon.
It did.
So this is our first time talking about them on the channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if y'all want to watch the episode where we talk about that, go to our Patreon. You know.
Yep. So this is Gyungso Yeji with Might Not Know. So, 2021. So this is a cover or a rearrangement?
I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure.
I thought this was a release. Just the release. Was it not?
I think this is a cover from an older song from like the you know, like 2001 or something like that, because we've been getting a lot of those lately. So
okay. I mean, it's still nice.
I don't know. I don't really see anything. I didn't really see anything in the comments that said it was an older song.
Okay. Well, you know, doesn't stop it from being a great experience to listen to. Oh yeah, 100%. Those vocals are very, very well done. So, and that's something that we like took to right off the bat with their debut. So, Nick, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
All right, so this is definitely, without a doubt, a ballad. But one thing that makes Gyungso Yeji great is that they are a duo, and that what that adds is the ability to play off each other, but also the ability to transition based on their voice types, because they have similar voice types but not the same.
Yeah, because one of them has has a style that's very reminiscent of Big Ji-young. Like, because you remember those couple Big Ji-young albums that you have, Nick?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't it feel very reminiscent of that style from the era of her? Yeah. So.
100%. But one thing that makes that great is just their chemistry is really, really, really good. and when they decide to double each other, and on the third or the fifth, it seems like it's a seamless like thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It feels like they've been working together for like a long time.
Yeah.
It feels like
I wouldn't be surprised
duo.
if they knew each other before, like way before they debuted.
Yeah.
Like the same thing with Yodudao, right?
Mm-hmm.
How they knew each other before they debuted, like way before.
Mm-hmm.
And that really helped their chemistry. This in the same way that I'm sure, I'm not 100%, but they have to either that or they just formed a natural bond really fast.
Which can happen.
Yeah,
It can.
It's happened before.
So.
I also really like I said before, I really like how they play off each other, especially after the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in the climax of the song, because ballads, the ballad progression of the song is the opposite from like a pop song. So like a pop song, how you have that depression in tempo, what we call the bridge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the opposite in a ballad. You have this peak of like tension and emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And right there, like that's when you hear like the most long held notes.
Yeah.
When there's ad-libbing over the actual song, stuff like that. Man, they do this so well here. Because I mean, at one point they double one of their voices, and there's like 3 of them singing technically.
Yeah, because
but it doesn't feel crowded.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Asatri is also featured in the song. So
Yeah.
my bad, Asatri, didn't mean to do you bad like that.
So like when 3 voices are singing, it can often feel crowded. Mm-hmm. Because there's so many people just doing so many different things, and it's too much auditory input. But here, because in a ballad it's so simplistic in nature, it doesn't make it too much to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that. I really think that was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
And with this style of ballad too, also reminiscent of Baekji Young style is the sheer amount of like belting notes that we have in here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And typically you see that a lot, right? Reserved towards the end of the song as they're building up that tension, building up to a climax, and then you get to the climax. Like, no, we see that here. It's kind of sprinkled throughout the song. It really does kind of keep it feeling like really engaging.
Yeah.
What's a good word for it? But yeah, it was. I found myself really just getting blown away throughout the song. It was like, wow, for all the same reasons you talked about, and in a way, like, yeah, the song does feel nostalgic. Going back to what we talked about, like it does feel like a bit of an older style.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think that we'll be getting. I definitely think that we'll be getting a like more nostalgic kind of vibe from here on, especially with summer coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
which
like,
is also helped by the music video too. So.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, with like watching the music video itself, like it helps to play into the nostalgia, It's got that like old film grain,
film grain with the scratches,
and then the clothing style, like they're showing like the student uniform and all that. So it's a very reminiscent. I would say that I do have a few problems with the coloring choices. Because they use the colors a little bit too sharply, It
didn't really capture it didn't really do a job of capturing the feel.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing I would say that kind of took me out of that experience was just how sharp the colors were.
They did apply a little bit of a sepia filter to it, but it's a very, very, very like minuscule amount. Like if they just cranked up the sepia filter a little bit more, which would have desaturated the colors.
Mm-hmm. If they desaturated it throughout more, because they didn't do it throughout the music video, but also if they did it at like different levels and whatever, I think that would have helped it a lot more, because there was some parts that did have the sepia tone. But
we already made the sepia tone stronger.
Yeah. But
that's usually more apparent, like with the I'm looking at one scene where it looks like it has a lot of sepia tone, but I think that's just a light source behind them because of where they're at. It looks like they're kind of in a booth somewhere. So yeah, I definitely see that.
Yeah, but like the vocals, the instrumentals, and like most of the music video itself really brought back that nostalgia feeling. And if people really enjoy that nostalgia ballad stuff, I think they would really enjoy this song.
I will say that one thing I really did like about this song was that, so like when they were scrolling through almost like a slideshow, one thing I actually really did like was that the picture changes were not on time with the music.
Yeah,
it made it feel more, I guess, like amateur essentially.
Yeah,
homemade.
Kind of saw that feeling like this is homemade.
Yeah. Definitely make it feel homemade, because like obviously they made it feel homemade in general just with like the pictures that they used and the filters that they used. But I also really like that it wasn't changing on time because it didn't feel professional.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I really liked that.
Yeah.
So one last thing too, I would have to say, the instrumentation. It almost kind of goes closer to like I remember telling Aura this like last week or the week before, like I'd like to hear like a ballad that uses like a grand orchestra. This isn't it, but like it's
closer.
It gets closer, yeah. You're just packing a bit more instrumentation in there, so I think that's another reason why like I really took to the song. All right, so this next one, it's the artist that I've been following since she debuted, and I am so glad that Nick actually kind of took to the song a bit. So this is Yukika with Insomnia. So Nick, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
So this is definitely, I really can't call it city pop and I really can't call it funk. It's kind of somewhere, it's kind of this middle ground in between.
Right.
Yukika has been very well known to do city pop before, and also some things that are more funk oriented anyway. So this genre is definitely no surprise to her, and it's something she's very, very comfortable with.
Right.
And needless to say, she does it very well. It's definitely the kind of niche that she's found herself in. But I really enjoy this a lot more because it doesn't feel as like draining as city pop normally is.
Yeah, because with the stereotypical city pop, they use a lot more of those ethereal synths. Yeah, those really spacey synths. Here they crank that down a bit and lean more into especially like the George Benson-esque like smooth jazz that was kind of part of the foundation for city pop. So yeah. Once I heard that, I'm like, wow. It felt really. I was kind of like blown away.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was as well.
Yeah, and her like dreamy vocals like really fit so well with that smooth jazz, funk, city pop kind of deal. Like it kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It kind of like mellows. No, that's not right.
Melts together.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it mellows you out, but then also you also got like that kind of funky bass going on too, right?
Yeah, it like the song is just like, there's no better way to put it other than the song is a vibe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, and it's a song that like, if like it's raining outside, it's a song that I want to listen to. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like this song would be perfect just to like sit in like a bay window. When it's raining and just listen to the rain and the song in general. I also think that this song is it's very borderline lo-fi.
Oh, you got me again. I was gonna bring that up next. I was waiting to bring that up.
Look, again, we've said it. We already said it in the beginning of the episode.
A brain cell.
One brain cell.
Yeah. Plus, a lot of it too is like I know I have a tendency to talk over you guys, so I try to like step aside and like give you guys like the space to talk. So, and just whenever that happens, man, like that's when you guys come in and take my talking points. So
okay, it's mostly Nick. Remember, I only own a sliver of that brain cell. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'll give you more of the brain cell later. It's fine.
Hey, right now, Nick is taking like 75% of that brain cell.
Hey man.
Yeah, I mean, but so like when you do it, Aura, though, it's usually like the really obvious stuff, like yeah, like you know, it would have been brought up anyways.
Yeah,
so it didn't need me to bring it up.
Look,
so but yeah,
I understand. I'm the simpleton of the group. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Well,
So
yeah.
so
go back to lo-fi.
one thing that really adheres to that lo-fi vibe is those belled synths. Those belled synths are great for transitioning to lo-fi because they're not very high quality oriented synths.
Yeah.
And there's something that is, I mean, they're not necessarily low fidelity synths, but they're definitely in that range.
Yeah, and you know they're very iconic as a part of like especially like with like jazz in general, jazz and funk. So yeah, it doesn't just belong to lo-fi, but it does help kind of push it into like it could easily flow into lo-fi. Because I remember thinking too, like man, you know, I love the fidelity of the song. I love the song, the way the song feels as it is. But I wonder like how if you're to kind of push it into like more into lo-fi, how would it how it would sound? You know, I think it would go great with a lo-fi version.
I think it would sound amazing.
Yep.
Yep.
So lo-fi has definitely has seen a resurgence with us, right? Lately, like the past couple years or so.
Right.
Like, or no, probably like since last year, I would say. So
You mean with us in general or with K-pop?
with us, like with me and
yeah.
you, yeah. Because I remember I talked about lo-fi a bit in 2019, and you know, you're like at the time you're just like yeah, you know, lo-fi is kind of like falling off in popularity, and then I guess it had a resurgence in popularity last year. So,
Yeah, lo-fi definitely had a dip around like 2018, when everyone was kind of moving towards his more hype songs.
yeah.
Right.
And then now, especially, it resurges every winter, every single winter it resurges.
Yeah.
And that's because lo-fi is great for winter.
Right.
Great for winter. It's great for fall.
Yep.
To be honest,
But-
I never really got into lo-fi till after like I started talking to like Nick and Jihoon. Mostly Nick though. I want to say it's mostly because of Nick.
I listen to a lot of lo-fi.
Yeah.
And I was about to say too, because like I feel like lo-fi would be such a natural fit for you, because like you know you do like jazz, although I noticed that you do take more to like the really brassy jazz, which we don't really, yeah, we don't have any of that in here, huh?
No, not really.
No.
Not overly.
No, so
Yeah. But it still gives that like dream. It still gives that dreamy feel that like, and it's so relaxing that you can sometimes get from a few of the brass jazz artists that is really enjoyable.
Yep.
And I think that's what really works for Yukika in this.
something else that I only just realized right before we started recording, Nick, at the part where she goes insomnia, I just realized at that part in the song, it reminded me something of from G-Friend. G-Friend's one of the B-sides when it kind of goes into, it doesn't go like into this genre, but it kind of steps into its direction, but it still incorporates a lot of their like G-Friend rock elements.
Yeah. It's definitely something G-Friend has done before. It's that alternate rhythm that is really catching you. Okay. But G-Friend has also done styles very, very similar to this.
Yeah.
Like this is right in their realm of what they used to do anyway, especially around the time of, you know, back when Rough was a thing, back when Me Gustas 2.
Yep. So 2016, 2017 G-Friend.
Yep. Their B-sides would be very similar to this.
In fact, I want to say it was probably off of their Rainbow repackaged album. I probably heard something like this.
I feel like this is definitely something that we have heard from G-Friend before as well.
Yeah.
I mean, G-Friend has been bordered city pop before.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, Aura, you want to take it away for the next one?
Okay. Yeah. So, our next artist is going to be one that we've talked about them before, right? I feel like we have.
Yeah, we talked about the debut. Yep.
Yeah,
wow.
we talked about the
It's Stacy with their comeback ASAP or ASAP, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna call it ASAP.
Yeah, it's ASAP.
It's ASAP.
100%.
So, Nick, that opening with the electro rock, like it was very like Martin Solveig, esque. I know like he's old. I know he's like an old time like is he like a French DJ or something like that? I don't really listen to a lot of his stuff, but like that, yeah, I remember like he was like one of my main exposures to like electro rock way back in the day. So
yep,
you don't hear that a lot in K-pop, do we?
Nah, the most we get from is usually like ITZY oriented.
Yeah.
Because they border this kind of genre.
Yeah.
Dreamcatcher's done some stuff for
FX from back in the day.
Yeah. FX, yeah. Red Light.
I mean, comparatively, to the artists that you just said, like I feel like the vocal tones are a bit lower. They choose a lower vocal tone.
Yeah. So I think definitely one reason of that is to compliment Jay, their main rapper.
Right.
Yep.
Because you have to play this very fine line when you have a deep voiced girl in a group.
Yep.
Because if you go really high and then you just have this very deep voiced rapper that can't go that high, then it creates a lot of dissonance in the song.
Yeah, right. Very disruptive.
Then you have essentially a whole like transition to trap for the rapper and then transition back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can kind of be a mess.
Yeah.
But one thing that I really like about Stacey's ASAP is that there isn't really a style that you could just call this song.
No.
I mean, it is purely just K-pop.
Right.
Like it's everything K-pop was designed to be.
Which is a fusion of various styles
right.
that you just somehow works.
Like, if I really wanted to list off, like, what this is, I would just... The only thing I could really say is it's K-pop.
Yeah, because, like, at the part where you get to the chorus, like, that borderlines, like, New Jack Swing in some aspects. Right? And then, like, it's just, yeah, like, you from one part to another, it's like, there is no, like, no set genre. So
I mean, when they go into the bridge, they just full send into what you would expect would be a ballad.
Yeah.
Right.
They fully kill all the momentum, which is not actually usual for ballads. Ballads usually slow down the momentum, but they want to keep it to go back. Here they fully kill the momentum, and then they're just like, yeah, now we go back.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that part where they just only had the piano and their vocals just keeping things going. Like, I actually
that also really
enjoyed
showcases that they could really pull off ballads.
Right.
Also, one thing I really like is Xian's voice. It's not that natural. It's that really. It's a high nasal, but it's not an annoyingly high nasal.
Yeah, it's not like a super fake, like nasal.
So like one thing that you see a lot of time is that when you have a nasally vocal, it's usually a Japanese member, but also it can be depending on the person, it can be an annoyingly high nasal. And I mean, a lot of Japanese members often have that high nasal. That's just what it's typically, if they come over from being an idol in Japan, that's how they were trained.
Right.
Oh, not only that, like it's actually a pretty normal part of like normal Japanese speaking voices. There's a lot of women that that's how they speak. So, yeah. A lot of my wife's friends are like that. So
in general, I think it's nice seeing that. The K-pop companies are also more open to Korean members that have the same vocal style, and won't, like here with Stacey, they didn't try to change that. And that, I think that's really cool, because oftentimes you see that a lot of K-pop companies did this or that to their artists' vocals to make them what they need, And I mean, even that, Xian's the main vocal. So it's nice that they're kind of playing around those things. And like Jay, for example, like Jay can sing,
right?
And they let her sing even though her vocal range is naturally lower.
Yeah, I remember that discussion being brought up with like Twice's Momo, talking about her natural vocals versus like the really 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 super high vocals that they were making her do early on,
especially near debut.
So and let's talk a little bit about the music video and this choreo, Aura. Bring it in.
I kind of found the music video, so considering like the vocal tones, like you usually with the vocal tones you expect something like a bit of a darker color scheme, but they went with a more like pinkish, like bright color scheme, where you kind of expect like a high energy like song to kind of accompany it, but it's kind of like
an older Elris.
Yeah, but like the song is kind of chill, but and so same with the dance, but the colors like contrasted, almost like a cognitive dissonance. It creates that gap in how you watch it.
And they add in like a lot of those comic book effects, animation effects, to kind of like really sell like the kind of cartoony fun, like aspects of it.
Right. But usually when you see like the like kapow, the bang, it's usually for like high energy action scenes. But it's not and so they pair it with the like more active high energy songs, but which is very much the opposite of this song, you know. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that it's interesting. It's different, and I think that's why like people can actually really enjoy this. Is if they enjoy the cognitive dissonance, if they enjoy like things like Gap Moe or whatever, I think it very much works with it. I don't know.
Yeah. So this this choreo, it's not like super complex. But I think that's part of the charm to it. You know, it does make it like really inviting to like just want to dance along to it. Because you kind of brought that up earlier. So Nick, you brought that up earlier prior to recording, or you also brought this up for another song. I think last week for one of the stuff that we talked about. So
I don't know. I say a lot of things now. I don't remember everything I say.
Yeah, like Nick, I don't know. We'll just go ahead and kind of share to the audience what you kind of talked about before.
So what I kind of talked about before was that Stacey's really good at this. So their point dance is simple, yet catchy enough that you can learn it very fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people talk about how they know the point dance just because it's so simple. Not a lot of groups current day make their point dance very simple to learn. You know, like we see a lot of the time, like with groups like Purple Kiss, right? With My Heart Skip a Beat, their point dance was very complicated, because they didn't want the dance to catch on; they wanted the song to catch on. And those are two ways to go about it. One group that was very easy to dance to and to dance the choreo to was Twice. Twice doesn't have the hardest choreo, but they have very, very, very catchy point choreo. You know, Likey. I mean, we've seen idols dance to Likey 1,000 times. Every idol knows Likey, and that's because Likey the point dance was very catchable.
Yeah, this is one of those songs that I imagine myself. It's early in the morning. I'm getting ready to getting my day started, and this song comes up, and I'm in the kitchen making coffee. I'm dancing. I'm dancing the point choreo while making coffee in the kitchen. My pajamas.
I feel bad for your point choreo for your coffee. That's a lot of point choreo with the arms.
So for people who don't know what point choreo is, what is it?
So what point choreo is it is the point of the choreo that is most rememberable and is typically it's in the chorus. And it's usually at the very start of the chorus. It's just the most catchy part of the song.
It's the dance equivalent of a hook.
Yeah. It is that part that everyone remembers. So a great way is Twice's TT. Everyone knows that choreo. That is the point. That is the point choreo of that song. The same with Likey. And the same with this song, you know, and it's very danceable. It's very easy to learn as well, typically.
Yeah, and it's usually not always, but it's usually also timed along with like a catchy like refrain. You know?
Okay.
So,
which in here it's the same. Their point choreo is in the refrain of the chorus.
Yep.
And there's no words going on. It's just them dancing their point choreo, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So, Stacy, they're proving to be another group that we're gonna be just full on board with, right? Just like Weekly.
Yeah, I mean, man, as someone that is currently in a war for an alt group at this point, they're making it really tough. Yeah. You know, they're definitely one of my like top contenders for like an alt group.
Look, just join the rest of us and have a multi alt group.
Not gonna happen. It is against my ways.
That's alright, man. That's what you said about everything else that we got you into.
All right, look, I also said that buying $1,000 of albums was against my ways. Apparently, it's not.
I don't know who had anything to do with that. You know.
Couldn't be us.
You guys are bad influences.
No. We are the best influencers.
Yeah.
I am an easily influenceable young man, and you guys are influencing me in bad ways.
No, we are influencing you in the best ways possible.
Yeah, it's not corruption, all right? We're not corrupting you.
It's a nudge in the right direction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna press X to down on that one. My wallet says otherwise.
Our wallets hate us too, but that's a whole different story.
I already have bad enough hobbies.
Yeah.
I don't need more.
K-pop is not a hobby though. K-pop is a way of life.
I was gonna say that.
All three of us were, or both of us were, yeah. So, okay, you guys are moving on to the very last one, which absolutely just came out of nowhere, knocking our socks off.
You want to introduce it?
Yeah. So, we talked about their debut before too, a while back, right? So this is With Us with Koichina Chingchin Nane. It's same title of a Korean folk song, and the meaning is actually it's a alright, or what's that word that I can never say? Onomatopoeia or something like that. It's when a word is a sound effect for something.
Oh, and automatopoeia.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
That word I can never say. It's that for that small little gong that you see them use for those folk songs. It's a sound effect for that. So we last talked about them with their debut with Tokebi. That was last year, right? Or the year before? Last year. Summer.
Yeah, last year.
Yep.
Almost a year from today.
Oh wow, is it really?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Nick, you checked out the like the actual folk song performance, right? Like not from these guys, but from like a folk.
Yep. So I actually already knew it.
Yeah.
And then I refreshed myself on it today. Yeah.
Bro, the original folk song. Okay, so I know a lot of people who are not, especially like for international fans who are like not familiar with Korean folk music at all. They're probably gonna be like, "What the heck are you guys on?" Right? When you say like, the folk song is actually pretty. It's actually pretty lit.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
The folk song in general is very lit.
Yeah, and like I could see like MC&D doing like a lit hi-fi version, or not hi-fi, a hip hop version of that song. You know, or one as because like how they did with Gotcha.
Right.
Man, yeah. So here, Nick, man, just take it away, man.
So this is definitely a modernized rap-based version of the traditional folk song. However, it is not so far outside of it that it is a completely new song.
You're right.
Yep.
It's still super heavily based on that.
And it works.
It does. It works very well.
I love it.
So, there's a lot of incorporation of fast rap here, which works very well because the song in general is faster than average Korean folk songs.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You know, like if you did something like this to like Arirang Bridge, it wouldn't work for that well.
Yeah.
It's Arirang Bridge is too slow, whereas the song fits perfectly with the rap bass line and drum track that they've added onto it.
Yep.
So they did that super well. But also their transitions were very solid. You know, the transitions were very fluent. and didn't stop the momentum abruptly.
Right.
Yeah, part of those transitions were like some of those EDM effects, right, that they had going on. So, and I really, it felt very exciting from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's a 3 minute 40-second song. When it ended, I'm like, this is over way too quickly. Like, I wanted more.
It felt like it could go.
I found myself saying the same thing.
It felt like it could have gone longer, like because like how it just kind of switches throughout the song, like different tempos back and forth.
Yeah.
The like power chords. That's what it is. It power chords. Whatever.
Yep.
You guys are the music smart people. You'll understand. But yeah, the power chords added such an interesting feel that like you never got bored with the song, and it really felt like it could have just continued for another like 3, 9, however many more minutes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nick, what was that one instrument? It's a traditional Korean instrument. You can hear it off to your right side, in the distance. It's a wind-based instrument.
I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember hearing it.
It's in there. And it's pushed off to the side. You hear it on your right side, but it's like off in the distance. You know, it kind of gives it. Normally, it's used to give like an ethereal feel, especially in folk songs. But it's present here.
I mean, if I had to guess, I'm not really that familiar with traditional wind instruments. I'm more string based. But if I had to guess, it might be a daegum.
Okay, yeah, it feels like something along those lines.
It could be a daegum or a jungum. It really depends, because there's 3 different types of Korean wind instruments: a daegum, a jungum, and a sogum. And ultimately, it's like I don't know how to tell the difference between them.
Yeah,
I'm not that really familiar with them. I'm more into like the gayagum and stringed instruments and stuff.
It's the same with myself. I'm more biased towards stringed instruments as well. But you do hear it in the chorus, and I thought that was a very nice touch as well, like adding in a traditional instrument. And yet they kind of implemented it in kind of like how a lot of hip hop songs incorporate similar sounding synth effects. So I thought that was really cool.
Right.
And in addition to their costumes too, like we talked about that before too with their with Tokebi. You know, their costume was like a mix of like, you know, modern meets old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they definitely are interested at some sense in Korean history.
Yeah.
Because this is now the second song that they've based off of Korean history.
Yep.
So I think they're definitely in it. And I mean, if this is kind of their style, history-based songs, I'm so down. Because I remember One Us, right?
Yep.
You know, they did something of a similar style, and I love that as well.
Oh,
and
man.
So did Jihoon.
Yeah. It's still on my playlist, on my workout playlist and my listening playlist.
Lit, right?
Yeah, it was. Yep, Gotcha lit. Gotcha is the Korean title, and then in parentheses lit. For English.
Yeah. Yep. And then like the dance moves were so like switch between like being so like smooth and rhythmic to like powerful. Like it hit the hip hop kind of dance style with the whole folk dance kind of style, which works so well. Like.
Yep.
And
that was another I was gonna bring up.
And there's that sliver right there of the brain cell that is shared.
Yeah, but yeah, man, like this came out of nowhere. If Nick didn't drop this in the chat, like I wouldn't have seen it. I would have missed it altogether, and I would have been missing out on something amazing.
Yeah, this was a great.
Yeah, I was actually like, when I was browsing for, like, this song, and I I listened to it. I was like, oh man, this is right up all of our alleys.
Yep.
And
this is coming off of Warner Music Korea, which Sori, she releases her stuff on that channel as well.
Yep.
That's how I saw that they released this. Was I was actually I actually subscribe to that channel with bell notifications on, so when Sodi releases something, I know.
Yeah, I need to do the same.
I mean, come on. She's like one of my favorite soloists.
Yeah,
she's a great one.
Just subscribe.
She's great.
So, yep. So, man, I really, honestly don't know how else we can sell this song to people like to listen to check out. Like, it really is just absolutely lit.
And I mean, it's got something for everyone.
Yep.
It combines that modern hip hop taste with pop elements and traditional folk.
Yep.
Like, there's literally something for every generation.
And going back to their dance, I think it's like it's very much like with MCND. Like they got that just fire when they dance, and it's like it really does catch me. These guys, yeah. I'm paying more attention to these guys, so because I wasn't that into Tokebi, but this one is really more like it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely slotted them in on the radar.
Yep.
I mean,
so
it's a shame like this performance video is only like at 4.5K. It needs more,
Yeah, it needs more love.
It definitely needs more.
Everything we've talked about for this episode so far needs more love.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 100%. Give love to everybody, honestly.
Yep.
All these views, all these like videos need views.
So, enough stalling. I guess it's time for us to make our picks of the week. Because
don't do this to me.
I don't know how I'm gonna pick.
Jeez.
Don't do this to me.
All right, or I go.
Me.
Yes.
I hate you guys.
Let's go.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go with us.
Solid pick.
Yeah, it's just
I can't complain.
So good and an interesting mix that you don't hear very often, especially in the K-pop scene. It's just nice hearing something different every so often.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, June.
All right. Man, so right now I've narrowed it down to 6.
6.
Yeah. Narrowing it down to probably like 4 now. Because like With Us is another one like that is on my short list.
You're right.
Between like With Us, Stacy, Yumin, Yukika, like you guys seeing a pattern here, like
all good choices.
It's we've like this week. I remember like just throughout this whole week, I'm like, man, this song is great.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this song. And even some of the stuff that I don't like have a lot of talking points on. Like there's just songs I just straight up just love.
Right.
And those are songs that just didn't make onto this list.
Yeah.
But so I started this week off with like 12 songs that I'm like, I really love this song as my contender for pick of the week.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna give it to Yukika with Insomnia.
Well, I was hoping you would knock out one of my 2 picks and you didn't, so this makes it harder for me.
Oh
no!
Yay!
Oh no! Is it Yumin or Gyungseo Yeji?
Yumin and Stacy.
Stacy. Oh no!
Knew it.
Because Stacy was another one too, and then Yumin. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go based on what I've listened to most this week.
All right.
And which one that I find that I like listening to a lot more.
And the repeatability.
The repeatability.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Stacy's ASAP.
Which is a solid pick.
Yeah. It's good.
As much as it hurts me not going for Yumin because I also listen to that song a ton.
Yeah.
My Last FM tracks everything I listen to, and I have logged more time listening to Stacy more replays I have listening to Stacy than I have Yumin, so that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
Final answer, with much regret.
All right, well, I guess it's time to move it on to our quick shots. And this first one's a bit of business news, which came out of nowhere for, I think, just about everybody.
Yep.
So, RBW, it's the label for Mamamoo, ONEUS,
Yep.
ONEWE, purchased WM Entertainment. This is the label for Oh My Girl, ONF, B1A4. There's
IZ*ONE's Chaeyeon, yeah.
Yep. So you got two companies that punch above their weight in terms of size and performance on charts and popularity. And RBW, 70% stakeholder with WM. So
that gives them pretty much sole discretion over what WM does at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it goes well. That's all I can say. Right. I really have no idea. I really don't have much in the way of conjecture of like what it could mean for WM or RBW. Like there's just so much that could happen.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I'd say WM is probably remaining autonomous. And managing themselves. It's just RBW is now their parent company.
Right. WM is doing very well. They're doing very well. Like I said earlier, they punch above their weight. They like when you compare them to like your big four companies. So on to you, Aura.
All right. So for fans of FX, on April 9th, SM has responded with news about. Responded with two news outlets with Victoria from FX finally actually leaving the company with her contract expiring. So, definitely wish her the best of luck. She's still active in like China and whatever. So, definitely hope to see good things from her soon and all that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
so I think this is definitely also a big step for FX. FX for so long was in the dungeon of SM, and I think it's really good that they've decided to move on.
Yeah,
I mean, even this week we saw Amber had a release.
Yeah, Amber had a release. So yeah, all the FX members have finally left SM.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right. Well,
on to Nick.
So a group that we haven't talked about before on this podcast, but Highlight. If you don't know who Highlight is, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I forgot who they were.
They've kind of stayed in the shadows for quite a while.
Yeah.
Highlight used to be called Beast, if that rings a bell. They used to be under Cube.
Yep.
Cube Entertainment. They eventually left Cube Entertainment and formed their own company called Around Us Entertainment. And also rebranded to Highlight, and they haven't had a comeback in about 2 years. But recently they just confirmed plans for their first comeback over that 2-year period, and they said they are preparing a new album aimed for May release. So hopefully soon we'll get to see Highlight back on stage and also promoting, which is really nice, as somebody that got into K-pop when Beast was still active. It's nice seeing that like they haven't given up on that, even though it's been a while.
It's been so long, I forgot about them.
Yep. Oftentimes you see that they haven't like given. Oftentimes you see that they gave up and like disbanded the group or all became businessmen or something like that. But it's nice to see that like they're actually still
at it.
At it. So the reason for their hiatus for 2 years was all of the members were serving in the military until last year. And then it obviously, as the fact that they're their own company, it takes time for them to plan and organize a comeback and and an album at that. So so yeah, that's it. About ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. This has been Idle Stand Nation. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell icon if you want to know when we upload in the future. We have a Patreon, Twitter, all of that, and our Discord and everything will be in the description down below, along with MVs that we did not talk about this week, so you can definitely check all those out and give them a bunch of love. As always, thank you to our patrons. You help us, and in turn, we can give you better content in return. So you mean the world to us, truly do. And with that, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.